fractions and decimals.
Fraction. Fraction is a part of whole. In 6 by 8, 6 is called the numerator and 8 is called the denominator. Denominator tells us about into how many equal parts the whole is divided. Numerator tells us how many parts are considered of the whole. Types of fractions. Like fractions. Fractions with same denominators. Example, 4 by 5, 6 by 5, 3 by 5. Unlike fraction. Fractions with different denominators. Example, 1 by 2, 6 by 8, 9 by 4. Proper fractions. Fractions in which denominator is greater than the numerator. Example, 2 by 9, 5 by 6, 2 by 3. Improper fractions. Fractions in which numerator is greater than the denominator. Example, 9 by 2, 6 by 5, 3 by 2. Mixed number. A number with a whole number part and a fractional part is called a mixed number. Example, 1 1 by 2, 2 1 by 3, 3 1 by 4. Conversion of an improper fraction to a mixed number. Conversion of a mixed number to an improper fraction. DE is equal to denominator. NU is equal to numerator. WN is equal to whole number. 3 1 by 4 is equal to, within brackets, DE into WN close brackets plus NU divided by DE, which is equal to, within brackets, 4 into 3 close brackets plus 1 divided by 4, which is equal to 12 plus 1 by 4, which is equal to 13 by 4. Equivalent fractions. All fractions that have the same value are called equivalent fractions. Simplification of fractions. Reducing a fraction to its lowest terms is called simplifying the fraction. Dividing the numerator and the denominator of a fraction by a common factor simplifies it into its lowest terms. Comparing fractions. Among the like fractions, the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. To compare unlike fractions, we first convert them into equivalent fractions and then we compare them. Addition of like fractions. We add the numerators to find the sum of like fractions. Example, 7 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 12 by 8 is equal to 7 plus 3 plus 12 by 8, which is equal to 22 by 8. Addition of unlike fractions. We convert the unlike fractions into like fractions with the common denominator, which is the LCM of given denominators, and then we add. Example, 3 by 5 plus 2 by 3 is equal to 3 into 3 plus 2 into 5 by 15, which is equal to 9 plus 10 by 15, which is equal to 19 by 15, which is equal to 4 by 15. Two mixed numbers can be added by adding whole numbers and fractions separately. Example, 2 1 by 3 plus 3 1 by 4 is equal to 2 plus 3 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4, which is equal to 5 into 4 plus 3 by 12, which is equal to 5 into 7 by 12. Subtraction of fractions. Like fractions are subtracted by finding the difference of numerators. Example, 7 by 15 minus 3 by 15, which is equal to 7 minus 3 by 15, which is equal to 4 by 15. Unlike fractions are converted to like fractions and then subtracted. Example, 9 by 4 minus 3 by 2 is equal to 18 minus 12 by 8, which is equal to 6 by 8, which is equal to 3 by 4. Multiplication of fractions. To get the product of a fraction and a whole number, multiply the numerator of the fraction with the whole number. Example, 1 by 2 into 5 is equal to 5 by 2. To get the product of two fractions, numerators are multiplied and the denominators are multiplied. Example, 1 by 3 into 2 by 5 is equal to 1 into 2 by 3 into 5, which is equal to 2 by 15. When any fraction is multiplied by 1, the product is the fraction itself. Example, 3 by 4 into 1 is equal to 3 by 4. When any fraction is multiplied by 0, the product is 0. Example, 2 by 3 into 0 is equal to 0. Calculating fractional part of a quantity. To know the fractional part of a quantity, fraction and the number, which is the quantity, are multiplied. Example, 1 by 3 of rupees 90 is equal to 1 by 3 into 90, which is equal to rupees 30. Reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. In any fraction, if we interchange the numerator and the denominator, we get the reciprocal of that fraction. Example, 3 by 2 is the reciprocal of 2 by 3. Division of fractions. Division is nothing but multiplying a fraction with the reciprocal of another fraction. Example, 2 by 3 divided by 6 by 8 is equal to 2 by 3 into 8 by 6, which is equal to 8 by 3 into 3, which is equal to 8 by 9. When you divide a fraction by 1, the quotient is the fraction itself. Example, 3 by 4 divided by 1 is equal to 3 by 4. When you divide 1 by a fraction, the quotient is the reciprocal of the fraction. Example, 1 divided by 3 by 4 is equal to 4 by 3. When you divide 0 by a fraction, the quotient is 0. Example, 0 divided by 3 by 6 is equal to 0. When any fraction multiplied by its reciprocal, the product is 1. Example, 3 by 4 into 4 by 3, which is equal to 1. When any fraction is divided by itself, the quotient is 1. Example, 2 by 3 divided by 2 by 3 is equal to 1. Decimal. Those numbers in which decimal point is used are called decimals. These numbers have two parts. Whole number. part which is on the left hand side to the decimal point. Decimal part, the part which is on the right hand side to the decimal point. Example, in a decimal number 5.789, 5 is the whole number and 789 is the decimal part. Expanded form of decimals. For this form, write each digit with its corresponding place value and add all of them. Example, 45.459, which is equal to 4 tenths plus 5 ones plus 4 tenths plus 5 hundredths plus 9 thousandths is equal to 40 plus 5 plus 4 by 10 plus 5 by 100 plus 9 by 1000. Converting decimals into fractions. Write the decimal number without the decimal point as the numerator of the fraction. Write the denominator of the fraction by inserting as many zeros on the right of 1 as the number of decimal places in the given decimal number and simplify the fraction if possible. That is, write the fraction in the lowest terms. Example, 78.59, which is equal to 7859 divided by 100. Like and unlike decimals. The decimal having the same number of decimal placed, that is, digits after the decimal point, are called like decimals. Example, 20.89, 4.02, 45.94 and 0.23 are called like decimals. The decimals having different number of decimal places, that is, digits after the decimal point, are called unlike decimals. Unlike decimal may or may not be equivalent decimals. Example, 12.455, 1.23, 78.5 and 42.555 are all unlike decimals. Converting unlike decimals into like decimals. Find the number in which largest number of decimal places are present and change the other decimals into their equivalent decimals which have the same number of decimal places as in the largest number. Example, 50.36, 459.2656, 459.2656, 4 decimal places. 50.36, 2 decimal places. 50.3600, equivalent decimal. Hence, 50, 3600, 459.2656 are like decimals. Comparing two decimal numbers. We can compare two like decimals just as we compare two whole numbers, ignoring the decimal point. For comparing two unlike decimals, first we convert them into like decimals and then compare. Addition of decimals. That is much similar to the addition without the decimal, in which we put the addend in such a way so that the decimal point of all numbers must be in the same column. Add the number ignoring the decimal point. Put the decimal point in the sum directly under the decimal point of all the addends. If numbers are unlike decimals, then convert them into like decimals. Example, what is the sum of 450.36, 45.56 and 12.369. Subtraction of decimals. Put the bigger number first and the smaller number below that in such a way so that the decimal point of both the numbers should be in the same column, and then subtract the number, ignoring the decimal point as in the case of decimal numbers, and put the decimal point in the result directly under the decimal point of the two given decimals. Example, subtract 22.89 from 78.56. Multiplication of decimals. Multiplication of a decimal by a whole number. Multiply both the numbers as the multiplication of two whole numbers are done, means by ignoring the decimal point. Put the decimal point in the product to obtain as many decimal places as there are in the multiplicand. It is same as the multiplication of a whole number by a decimal. Example, multiply 45.98 by 8. Multiplication of a decimal by a decimal. Perform the multiplication of both numbers as if multiplying two whole numbers, means by ignoring the decimal point. Put the decimal point in the product to give as many decimal places in the product as there are in the multiplicand and the multiplier together, equal to the sum of decimal places. Example, multiply 20.36 by 34.82. Decimal division. Divide a decimal by a whole number. 1. Perform the division as if division of a whole number is done. 2. First, divide the whole number part of the dividend. After that, place a decimal point to the right of the ones place in the quotient. Then proceed to divide the decimal number part of the dividend. 3. If a whole number part of the dividend is 0, then put 0 to the quotient and a decimal point after it, and on the right of the decimal point go on putting for each digit of the dividend till they together make a number greater than the divisor.
Correct. Correct. Fantastic. Correct. Excellent. Correct. 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 Excellent. Correct. Correct. Fantastic. Correct. Excellent. Correct. 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 Excellent. Correct. Correct. Fantastic. Correct. Excellent. Correct. Correct. Fantastic. Correct. Excellent. 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 Fantastic. Correct. Excellent.